Hey guys, it's Felix and I just got back from a trip aboard the Symphony of Seas. One of the best vacations ever that I've had, and a complete opposite experience to what happened on the Quantum of the Seas. So if you want to see what a cruise is like in China, go check that out. But without further ado, let's get into this ship tour. So we'll be starting on deck 2. So we're starting here on deck 2. Really not much to see here, but this is where you'll be exiting from the gangway, or you'll be here in the medical facility, so you don't really want to be on deck 2. So the next deck that we have is deck 3. Deck 3 has the conference room, which can be booked out for certain events, and also main dining room 3. So the way that dining works on the Symphony of the Seas is that you have choices between My Time dining, where you get to dine between 5:30 and 9 o'clock, or reserved dining, which the times are 5:45 or 6, or 8:30. So on the Symphony of the Seas, I found the main dining room to be pretty decent in quality, pretty standard for the cruise industry here. So here are some clips of what we had to eat in the main dining rooms. So we did My Time dining, so we were assigned to dine on deck 4. But I just want to clarify that My Time dining doesn't mean that your waiter changes every day. We had the same waiter every day, Radu, and his assistant Kunal, and they were fantastic. So now up on deck 4 we have Azumi, hibachi, and sushi. So at Azumi, the hibachi part is a cover charge of either $45 or $49 based on what you decide to order, and the sushi part is a la carte. From what I've heard, it's a really good restaurant, and the hibachi part is certainly a good show. So next, I want to show you around Entertainment Place, which is the hub of many activities on board the ship. The Royal Theatre is the main hub of entertainment on board the Symphony of the Seas. So the Royal Theatre spans from decks 3 to 5, 5 being the balcony, 3 to 4 being the main floors, and 4 is where the main entrance to the Royal Theatre is. So while on our cruise aboard the Symphony of the Seas, we saw a couple of different shows. So one of them was the Broadway musical Hairspray, adapted for a rendition at sea. It was really good. The performance was excellent. Another one of the performances that we saw was a new show aboard the Symphony of the Seas called Flight. You can see it involves mechanics. Really cool, really technical. And here's just a clip of the comedy show that we saw on the last night, which was absolutely hilarious.
That is disgusting. Could you please shut the door when you go into the bathroom? My mom used to think I was a hero. I'm super booper. Alright, that's it for me, you guys.
As part of the Entertainment Place, Royal Caribbean decided to include Jazz on 4, which is a jazz lounge, a bar, just a really nice place to hang out and listen to live music and different performances.
You know my heart goes crazy.
Adjacent to Jazz on 4, you'll find the Diamond Club. This is an area for Diamond and Diamond Plus members to go and relax. It looks like they have really nice seating and different types of foods and drinks in there, but I won't know, I can't get in there. Opposite of the Diamond Club is the Attic. The Attic is a place for live performances, mostly consisting of comedy or little talk shows, I guess. Next we have Studio B. Studio B is, I think of it as the secondary theater. So on the Symphony of the Seas, Studio B during some days is used as a laser tag arena, where kids and adults alike can go down to play a short game of inflatable laser tag. During the nights, it's most commonly used for ice skating shows, and on this cruise we were able to see the show 1977 and a more general ice skating show where the skaters just did whatever they really wanted to. And on the last night of the cruise, the guests were also given the opportunity to have a free skate around. So in the middle of Deck 4, you'll also find Casino Royale. Pretty self-explanatory, a state-of-the-art massive casino at sea. So on Deck 5, you'll find the sprawling Royal Promenade. The Royal Promenade is fairly standard across all of Royal Caribbean ships, and it's the hub of activity on board the Symphony of the Seas. So on the Royal Promenade, you'll be able to find some pieces of unique artwork and different cafes such as Starbucks, Promenade Cafe, and the pizza place Sorrento's. Behind there you can see On Air. On Air is the site where there's going to be live activities such as the late night early morning show hosted by your cruise director. On the Royal Promenade you'll also find plenty of shopping where the stores will be looking to rip you off with terrible deals. You can buy purses for $200, $300, $400. It also features the official Royal Caribbean shops where you can buy things such as ship models, official merchandise, lanyards, and keychains. As you reach the other end of the Royal Promenade, you'll find Boom, which is the internet, and the Bionic Bar, which was actually seldom used during this cruise, which surprised me given on the Quantum of the Seas, which I went on in the past, a lot of people were using it. Here's shore excursions. I would never recommend booking from them. So if you continue past shore excursions, you'll find the photo area, so you just scan your sea pass, and then all your different photos will show up, and you can get to select whichever ones that you would like, and then you can purchase them.
Good idea.
On the back of Deck 6, we can find the boardwalk. So the boardwalk has become a staple of the Oasis class ships. At the front of the boardwalk, you can see the carousel, and here's some footage of me riding on the carousel. It's super fun. The carousel is free of charge and open on most sea days, and sometimes at ports of call as well. So some of the new additions of the boardwalk on Symphony of the Seas that differentiates it from the other Oasis class ships are the boardwalk doghouse, which features different types of hot dogs, such as the Coney Island dog, the Chicago dog. Sugar Beach here on my left right now, it serves ice creams, a lot of different types of candies, and another addition is Playmakers, which is a sports bar and arcade. So part of it is an arcade typical. You have games like skee-ball, basketball, and then there's the sports bar parts of it, which serve foods like wings and sliders. Here's a look at the famous Ultimate Abyss, probably the most notable attraction on board the Symphony of the Seas. It's a 10-story drop all the way from Deck 16 to the boardwalk on Deck 6. It looks really scary, but when you're riding on that mat down the dark slide, it really doesn't feel that fast, which is quite an odd thing. So as we adventure further to the aft of the ship, you'll find the rock climbing walls. There's 2 rock climbing walls, one on each side, and they feature different tracks, I guess you would call them, of varying difficulties. I climbed a few of them, made it to the top of one of them, and failed 2 of them. So behind the rock climbing walls, you'll find the Aqua Theater, which is one of a kind, exclusive to Oasis class ships. And they feature amazing shows at night. So the headliner show at the Aqua Theater on our cruise was called Hyro, however you pronounce it, Hiro. But it featured acrobats, a little bit of a weird storyline, but the performance was really incredible. There were divers, people like flying through ropes, a lot of jumping, swimming, dancing. It was pretty crazy, and the performers were really skilled and amazing. Ship. One of my favorite places on the ship is actually in the back. If you go down from deck 6, you'll get to the jogging track. There's a small staircase that leads down to it, and it provides beautiful views of the wake of the ship. There's a bit of seating down here, and not too many people actually venture down to this part of the ship, so it's really private. It's really nice for a sail away and such. If you head to the front of the ship on deck 6, you'll find Vitality at Sea, which is the spa and fitness center on board. So in Vitality at Sea, you'll find the fitness center, which is fairly nice. It features a lot of treadmills, ellipticals, bikes, lifting equipment. You'll also find the Vitality Cafe here, which serves smoothies for a charge and other healthy snacks, which are complimentary.
Just staterooms. So
on deck 8, the main attraction is Central Park. Central Park is my favorite place on the entire ship on any Oasis class vessel. So in Central Park, you'll be able to find high-end shopping and great restaurants such as Jamie's Italian, Chops Grill, and Central Park 150, as well as the free complimentary Park Cafe. But what makes me appreciate Central Park even more is the ability to see and interact with these live plants. It's so refreshing at sea to be able to see all this greenery and just beautiful artwork. Central Park is also one of the best places to hear live performances. On this cruise there was a jazz band that played in Central Park, a solo guitarist, singers, dancers, performers. It has a wonderful atmosphere to it. To the right of your screen now, you can see the Rising Tide bar, which comes up from the Promenade and goes all the way to Central Park. It leaves every hour from Central Park back down to the Promenade, so it's a half-hour ride. So it's time for our room tour. Our room was on deck 8, a lovely ocean view room. So there's not many ocean views on the Symphony of the Sea, so if you want to book an ocean view cabin, which is slightly cheaper than a balcony, I would recommend doing so really quickly, and I would recommend getting this room. It's beautiful, it's on the front of the ship, so you essentially get the same view that the captains of the ship get. It's also a little larger due to the extra area that you get at the front of the cabin. It's appointed nicely with a sofa, a desk, and a bed, so you can appoint that as 2 singles or 1 double. The bathroom is a little bit on the small side, but that's to be expected of a cruise ship. So now we're up at deck 12, and in the middle aft section you'll find Wonderland, one of the specialty restaurants on board. So Wonderland is a magical, whimsical place based off of Alice in Wonderland. So let's go take a look inside. Wonderland is the one specialty restaurant that we did get to experience on board the Symphony of the Seas. It was Thanksgiving, it was my mom's birthday, so we decided just to splurge. So when you arrive at Wonderland, you head down this set of stairs, and there you get a menu, and you have to paint it out using a paintbrush and some water. You can see I wrote yeet there because why not? So here's a look at some of the food that we had. It was all really quirky, interesting, so not for everybody's taste, but I really enjoyed it. It's more for the experience rather than the actual food that you're getting.
It's our bird's nest. The nest is here. We have a hot caramel sauce. So what do we have inside is the salted caramel ice cream. The mousse is a chocolate mousse, and there is in the bottom there is a peanut butter ganache with a chocolate brownie and the rice crispy around it. Mushrooms, we grow them in our Central Park. The stem is made of.
So on deck 14 you'll find 7 of Hearts, which is the card and library area. Pretty small, pretty average for a ship of this size. On the front of the ship, on deck 14, you'll find the Adventure Ocean area for kids and the Escape the Rubicon Puzzle Break Center, which is a new feature. You pay $25 to do the escape room. So there's the solarium, the adults only area of the ship. It's really nice inside, really relaxing vibe, and it also features the Solarium Bistro. So first, the Solarium Bistro. So the Solarium Bistro features a healthier fare, and it's open for breakfast, lunch, and dinner.
So we have a lot of
For dinner you want to make a reservation, but breakfast and lunch, just walk right in. So it has a really nice salad bar and some different options than what you would get in the main buffet or in the main dining room.
here in the Solarium Bistro.
The Solarium Bistro just sits up top the solarium, and the solarium is a really nice area, as I said. Features a pool, really interesting art sculpture, and the King of the World, which is a little glass platform in which you get to stand above the ocean. So now we're back on the main pool deck. The main pool deck has been tweaked a little bit from the Oasis and Allure of the Seas, but it remains pretty similar to the Harmony of the Seas. So you'll find 3 different water slides here. 2 of them are what I guess would be considered racers, the blue and the yellow one, and another one would be the champagne bowl, toilet bowl, martini bowl, however you want to call it. It's a green and yellow one. And that's the one where you go down and you get spit into a bowl, and you spin around and then go down. So on the pool deck you'll find 3 different pools: the sports pool, the beach pool, the main pool, and then you'll also find the kiddie area called Splashaway Bay, which features a small water slide, a water bucket that splashes down. It's really fun. There's also a variance of different hot tubs laid out, some of them overlooking the ocean, some of them closer to the center of the ship. And there's really not a lack of seating on board. There's so many lounge chairs, whether on deck 15 or deck 16. Some, again, overlooking the pool area or the central areas of the Central Park or the boardwalk, and some of them are overlooking the ocean. On both sides of the pool deck, you'll also find some soft serve ice cream. So now we're coming up on one of the tastiest additions that they had on the Symphony of the Seas. So here's El Loco Fresh, which serves Mexican fare. It's so delicious. They have different tortillas, steak, chicken, pork, guac, pico de gallo, salsa. It's amazing. The Symphony of the Seas features a full-size sports court, which is quite impressive, full basketball court, sometimes used for soccer and other activities, for athletic people unlike me. So here we're up at the top of the ship. This is a look of the ultimate abyss from upstairs, and we also have the mast bar. So here's one of the flow riders. There's 2 on both sides, and this side is used for the more experienced surfers. Similar in design to its sister, Symphony of the Seas features a zip line. It's a short zip line, but it's fun. Gets your adrenaline up for a little bit as you're going over that boardwalk. Symphony of the Seas also features a mini golf course. It's 9 holes, pretty standard. Balls always blow away in the wind, but still pretty fun to get out there with your family and see who wins. We have a ping pong area over here, and then on the left of that is the teen lounge for cool kids. Here's one of the very unique and technical areas of Symphony of the Seas. It's the piano tiles area, I guess. And when you go up the stairs, it plays different piano notes. Really interesting, and I would really like to see the technology behind it. So on deck 16, as I mentioned before, you can find more lounge chairs. There's 2 types, the upright type and the one where you get to lean back. And there's another look at all the different water slides. So here's another exclusive area of the ship which I'm not allowed to go on. It's the suite deck. So you can see there, you need to be in a really high class to go up there. The Windjammer is the next destination on tour, and the Windjammer is the main buffet on board the Symphony of the Seas, and it offers pretty standard fare. It's not too good, not too bad, just your average cruise ship buffet. The final stop of our tour brings us to Hooked Seafood, which serves New England style seafood in a really nice joint. It's right over the Solarium Bistro, and it serves lunch and dinner for different prices. So that concludes my ship tour aboard the Symphony of the Seas. It's an absolutely beautiful vessel, and I would completely recommend booking it, especially for the right price. So if you haven't checked out some of my other videos, I have a lot of airline reviews, and I also have a review of the Quantum of the Seas in China, which I would totally recommend checking out because it was quite a unique experience. So please like, subscribe, and watch some of my other videos. Thanks.